Hello, second grade, and welcome to Unit 4, Week 4. Let's get started with our vocabulary words. Our first word is the word plenty. So if there's plenty of something, there's a lot of it. You may have plenty of fresh fruit at home. You may have plenty of crayons in your coloring box. So plenty just means a lot of something. Next, we have the word dash. If you dash somewhere, you go there quickly or suddenly. So think of when someone runs to a spot. If you dash over there, you're running or you're going to that place really, really quickly. And you're not going slow. You're not kind of walking and then running. You're doing it very suddenly. Next, we have the word victory. Victory means winning. It's just a synonym or another word to say winning. So a victory is winning at a contest or a game. So the team won their first victory or got their first victory when they played against the neighboring school. Next, we have the word holler. Holler is a synonym for yelling or shouting. So when you holler, it's the same thing as saying to yell or to shout. Number 5 is ashamed. So when you feel ashamed, you feel embarrassed and sorry about doing something. It's usually when somebody does something that's not a good thing or something that's not right. And when you're ashamed, you feel bad because you probably didn't mean to do it. Next, we have the word boast. When you boast about something, that means you're bragging about it, and that's not necessarily a good thing. So if you're boasting about something, you're talking about how great that thing is. A lot of times people will boast about themselves and things that they can do, right? They try and make themselves sound like they're really, really great people and they can do all sorts of things. And we know that's not always a good quality to have. Next, we have the word wisdom. Wisdom is not just being smart, it's also knowing how to make good choices, knowing the difference between right and wrong, knowing what's going to be the best choice that'll benefit the most people or that'll help the most people. That's wisdom. And our last word is the word similarities. Similarities are how things are the same. So when we're talking about something that is similar, we're talking about something that is the same. So similar is the base word that we see in the word similarities. All right, next we're going to get into your spelling words for this week. Now we're working on more R-controlled vowels this week, but we're working on a different sound. We're working on the ear sound. So R-controlled vowels that are either spelled E-E-R, E-R-E, or E-A-R. And I've highlighted them for you so they're easy to see. So we have the words dear, cheers, steer, hear, jeer, near, ear, dear, clear, spear, store, north, again, house, and inside. So pay attention to the spelling, look at the different combinations, look at the patterns that you're seeing in these letters so that when you go to do your spelling test at the end of the week, you're able to get them all right. Please be extra careful when you're doing your 3 times each because it is easy to confuse these because they all make the same sound. So pay very close attention to the way you're spelling it to make sure you spell it correctly. All right, next for our grammar and spelling, or our grammar and ELA notes for this week. So we're going to talk some more about irregular past tense verbs. Now remember, a verb tells you what a subject is or does. And if you want to find the verb in your sentence, think about what the sentence is telling you about that subject, what that subject is or what that subject is doing. Now we know that regular past tense verbs have an ED at the end of them, like walk becomes walked, talk becomes talked. Irregular past tense verbs do not end with an ED. They don't follow this rule. That's why we call them irregular. Irregular means not regular. But they're written as a different word. So the ones that we're going to focus on today are the few that I've listed right here. There are many, many, many irregular past tense verbs, but these are the ones we're going to think about. And these, when we're saying they're irregular, we're talking about how the spelling will change, right? It's not just keeping the same word and adding an ED. We're spelling the word in a completely different way. So come becomes came. Yesterday, we came to the park. Run becomes ran. Hide becomes hid. give becomes gave, sing becomes sang, and sit becomes sat. So these are going to be the ones we're going to think about and the ones that are going to show up the most in your work for this week. You can always come back to this notes document to find these words. They're also going to be listed in your workbooks to help refresh your memory in case you forget. Next, we're going to talk about root words and related words. And this is something I mentioned in your vocabulary words about how some words are related, right? We have a base word and then, or a root word, and we add parts onto it to make it another bigger word or longer word or a word that has a similar meaning. So some of the words we're going to look at today are the words quiet. So quiet means something that makes no noise. So quiet is the root word in quieter or quietly. The word use is something that helps. So if something is useless, that means we can't use it. It's not helpful. Something that is useful is helpful. Something that is usable can be used. Next, we have the word work. Work is usually the effort or a thing that you do. So the effort you put into something or the thing that you do. So if something is workable, that means you can work with it. If something is working, that means it's doing the job that it's supposed to do. The word happy means feeling joy. So happily, unhappy, happiest, all of these come from that same root word. If you look at the word care, care means when you look after something or someone. So if you're doing something carefully, if someone is being careless, or if your friend is very caring, those all come from that same root word. We also have the word power. So power means strength or something that's important or influential. So someone who has power is influential. What does that mean? That means their opinion matters a lot, right? They can get people to side with them. So if something is done powerfully, that means it's done in a powerful way. We can talk about horsepower, which is what we measure the strength and speed of a car. Someone can feel powerless when they feel like they have no power. And there's going to be more that show up in your workbook that are not listed here, but this will at least get you on the right track. And the last thing that we're going to talk about, you guys have pretty short notes this week, is letter punctuation. Now, when we talk about letter punctuation, we talk about, generally we're talking about where the commas go. So we know that when we write a letter, we put a comma after the greeting and after the closing of a letter. So I'm going to bold these for you so that you can remember them. So comma after the greeting and the closing of a letter. This is the greeting right here. Oops. That's the greeting. So the greeting starts with capital letters for the words and it has a comma. And then the closing is what you get when you're ending your letter. So the greeting is where you're saying, dear whoever it is, right? It's telling you who the letter is being written to. And the closing is telling you who the letter is being written by. So usually you can put your name at the bottom of this. So this is my example letter. Dear Ahmad, comma, I hope you're having a great summer break. I went to a sleepover at my cousin's house last week. We had so much fun. We played hide and seek, tag, and leapfrog. I can't wait to show you the silly pictures we took. Your friend, comma, Hamza. So you have your closing, it's followed by a comma, and then you have the name of the person who wrote the letter. All right, next let's get into your stories for this week. So this week we're going to be talking about folk tales. Now, folk tales are really fun stories because they're stories that have been passed down through many, many, many years in a particular culture or country or family. And folk tales usually teach us a lesson. Now, this particular one is called How the Beetle Got Her Colors, and it's based on a story that comes from Brazil. Now we have the different characters over here, and we're going to read through those, but I want to show you quickly what this is going to look like. So this folktale is written as a drama. What does that mean? It's written as a play. That means it tells you who's speaking, right? It tells you the person's name and what they said, and what the next person's name or the next character is and what they said. So it's written a little bit differently than what we're used to reading for our regular stories. Let's go ahead and listen to the story of How the Beetle Got Her Colors.
Genre: Folktale. Essential question: how can we understand nature? Read out how a beetle got its bright colors. How the Beetle Got Her Colors, based on a traditional tale from Brazil, by Joseph Bruchac, illustrated by Mercedes McDonald. Folk tales teach us useful lessons and share wisdom with us. They explain things about the natural world. This folk tale tells how beetles got such bright colors. The story comes from the rainforests of Brazil. That is the setting of this play. Many different plants and animals make their home in the rainforest. Some of those animals are the characters in this play. Characters: narrator, a human storyteller. Beetle, a gray-colored insect. Arrow frog, a very brightly colored frog. Agouti, A-gu-ti, a rodent animal with glossy brown fur. Jaguar, jag-war, a black and gold spotted animal. Parrot, a bird with feathers of red and blue and gold. Anaconda, a big snake with patterns on his back. Narrator: long ago, Beetle did not look the way she does today. Agouti made fun of her. Agouti: Beetle, you are not beautiful like me. I have lovely brown fur. It shines in the light. You are just plain gray. Beetle: I don't mind being gray. Agouti: ha! You are the plainest animal in the forest. You do not have beautiful gold and black spots like Jaguar. Jaguar: that's true. I do have beautiful black and gold spots. Agouti: you don't have shiny designs on your skin like Arrow frog. Arrow frog: that is true. I do have shiny designs on my skin. Agouti: you do not have interesting shapes on your body like Anaconda. Anaconda: yes, the shapes on my body are very interesting. Would you like to come closer and look at them, Parrot? Parrot: no, thank you. I will stay up here in the tree. Agouti: you do not have feathers of red and blue and gold and green like Parrot. Parrot: that's true, but it's not nice to boast about being better than someone else. Stop teasing poor Beetle. Beetle: I do not like being teased. It makes me sad. Agouti: we are all good-looking and you are plain. I can see why you hide in the bushes all day. You may be gray, but I bet you feel blue. Stop and check. Visualize. How does Beetle look different from the other animals? Use the visualize strategy to help you. Narrator: Agouti kept teasing poor little Beetle. Agouti boasted about how good-looking he was. Parrot did not like Agouti's teasing. She got tired of hearing Agouti boast. Finally, from the top of the tree, Parrot gave a loud holler. Parrot: hey, hey! Hold your tongue, Agouti. All you animals listen. I propose a race between Beetle and Agouti. Agouti: will there be a prize for the winner? Parrot: I will give a beautiful new coat of any color to the winner. Beetle: even though I am happy being gray, a pretty new coat would be nice. Agouti: ha! I'll win this race. I have 4 fast, strong legs. Beetle, all you do is creep along on your 6 little skinny ones. You will be far behind when I dash across the finish line. Beetle: I may surprise you. Agouti. Ha! I do not think so. Parrot. Beetle and Agouti, are you ready? Agouti. I am ready. You will all see how fast I am. Beetle. I am ready too. I will try my best. Parrot. Then let the race begin. Go. Arrow Frog. Agouti is really fast. Look at him go. Jaguar. Beetle is hardly moving. Agouti is far ahead of her. Anaconda. Yes, but what is Beetle doing now? What are those things on Beetle's back? Parrot. Just watch and see. Arrow Frog. Wow, look at that. Jaguar. I have never seen anything like that before. Anaconda. Yes, that is amazing. Agouti. I'm so fast that I left that silly little beetle far behind. What color shall I have Parrot paint me? Red? Green? Blue? How about red and blue with green spots? I will choose plenty of colors. I will look so beautiful. Ah, there is the finish line. Arrow Frog. Agouti, where were you? Jaguar. Beetle got here long ago. Anaconda. Beetle was very fast. You should have seen her. Parrot. Beetle won the race. She has achieved victory. Agouti. You won? How did you get here so fast? Beetle. I flew. See my wings? Agouti. I did not know you could fly. Parrot. You should never judge anyone by the way they look. Even a plain little creature may have some hidden power. Narrator. Agouti was so ashamed that he crawled off and hid while Beetle got her colors. She chose to be as green as the forest trees and as gold as the bright sun in the sky, and that is how she looks to this day. Beetle. I am beautiful. Narrator. A story such as this is fun to hear, but it also teaches us a useful lesson. The tale of Agouti and Beetle shows us the wisdom of not making fun of others. Stop and check. Visualize. How did Beetle's wings help her win the race? Use the visualize strategy to help you.
Okay, so we've gotten to the end of our first folktale. Now, remember I told you in the beginning that a folktale has some kind of a lesson that you need to learn in it, and that lesson usually comes out at the end of the story. So if we go back to this previous page right here, it tells us in this second to last page what the message is. It says you should never judge anyone by the way they look. Even a plain little creature may have some hidden power. So it's teaching us a lesson, something that we should know, something that we should be careful about so that we don't do things that we're not supposed to do. It's giving us some wisdom. Now, our next text that we're going to read is another folk tale, and it's called How the Finch Got Its Colors.
Genre: folktale. Compare texts. Read about how a plain gray bird came to be so colorful. How the Finch Got Its Colors. A folk tale from Belgium. Long ago, all birds looked alike. They all had wings, a beak, and the same gray feathers. Their similarities confused King Bird. He often called them the wrong names. King Bird was a smart leader with great wisdom. He thought long and hard about the problem. Finally, the answer came to him after a big storm left behind a rainbow. King Bird called all the birds together. "Birds, look at this beautiful rainbow," he said. "I want you to be beautiful too, so choose a color for your feathers." The birds chirped and flapped. They also snatched at the colors. "Orange and black are mine," Robin sang. "Blue, blue, I want blue," Jay squawked. Greedy Hummingbird zoomed in. "I'm taking purple, green, and black," she hummed. The birds proudly showed their new colors. Then Kingbird noticed Finch hiding behind a tree, still dull and gray. "Finch, where is your color?" he asked. "I tried to get some, but I got pushed aside," Finch said sadly. Kingbird was angry, so he ordered each bird to pluck a single colorful feather and give it to Finch. Soon Finch was the most colorful bird of all. That is how the finch got its beautiful colors. Make connections. How does this folktale help us understand birds? What have you learned about nature from the stories you have read this week?
All right, so we've gotten to the end of our second folk tale about how the finch got its colors, and think about what the message here is. Think about what it was that the story is trying to tell us. What piece of wisdom is it trying to give us? So again, if you go back and you take a look at the close to the end of the story, which is usually where that message is uncovered. That's usually where you figure out what it is that they're trying to teach you. They're talking about being greedy, right? That everybody took a color and that nothing was left for poor little Finch. And so that the kingbird ordered everyone to pluck one of their colorful feathers and to give it to Finch. And that made Finch the most colorful and beautiful bird of all. So he was the one, remember, Finch was the one that was not being greedy. And this is why when he was making a good choice, he was not being greedy like the other birds. He was the one that ended up with the most beautiful coloring. Oops. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our reading and writing workshop. And our story here is another drama. Remember, we said a drama is like a play where we see the name of the person who's speaking, and then we see their words. And this one is called Why the Sun and Moon Live in the Sky.
Genre: drama. Why the sun and moon live in the sky. Essential question: how can we understand nature? Read about how the sun and the moon ended up in the sky. This play is based on an African folktale that tells how the moon and sun ended up in the sky. Characters: narrator, sun, moon, sun's wife, water. Narrator: long ago, sun, moon, and water lived together on Earth. Sun and moon are eating breakfast at home. Sun: I will visit my good friend Water today. Moon: that sounds enjoyable, but why doesn't Water ever visit us? Do you feel ashamed or embarrassed to invite Water here? Sun: no, I am proud of our house. I will invite Water today. Sun visits Water at the beach. Sun: Water, why don't you ever visit us? Water: your house can't hold me and my family. Sun: that's nonsense. Moon and I will enlarge our house, so there will be plenty of room for everyone. Water: then I will visit you. Sun: wonderful. Please holler loudly so I hear you when you arrive. Now I must dash home quickly to start the work. Sun rushes home. Narrator: sun and moon raced to make their home larger. They added rooms and raised the roof higher. The new house was completely different and had no similarities to their old home. They felt it was a victory, or a win, for now their friend could visit. Water: sun and moon, I have arrived. Sun: isn't this the largest home you've seen? Moon: sun, it's not polite to brag, so please don't boast to our guest. Water: come inside. Narrator: Water splashed through the door, carrying colorful fish, frogs, and crabs. As the water began to rise, sun and moon climbed onto furniture. Then they scrambled onto the roof. Sun: Moon, I'm not sure about the wisdom of inviting Water. Perhaps this wasn't a smart idea. Moon: no, Sun, it was the right thing to do, but we must fly to safety. Narrator: sun and moon flew to the sky, where they remain today and still shine down on water.
All right, next let's get into our comprehension strategy and skill. And we're going to be talking about the strategy of visualizing again. So this is one we've done a few times. And remember, to visualize means to imagine. You're picturing something in your head. So you're taking the words that the author used. You're taking those describing words that they used to help you create that picture or paint a picture in your head so that you're able to see what the author wants you to see. And then the comprehension skill we'll talk about after that is the theme. So a theme is a message. So what is the message in a story that the author wants you to know or to learn? Is there a lesson that he wants you to learn? Is there an idea that he wants you to understand? That's your theme. So let's go ahead and read more about visualizing.
Visualize. When you visualize, you form pictures in your mind about the character, setting, and plot of the story. Find text evidence. As I read page 307 of Why the Sun and Moon Live in the Sky, I can visualize what is happening in the story. Sun. Isn't this the largest home you've seen? Moon. Sun. It's not polite to brag, so please don't boast to our guest. Water. Come inside. Narrator. Water splashed through the door, carrying colorful fish, frogs, and crabs. As the water began to rise, Sun and Moon climbed onto furniture. Then they scrambled onto the roof. Sun. Moon, I'm not sure about the wisdom of inviting water. Perhaps this wasn't a smart idea. Moon. No, Sun. It was the right thing to do, but we must fly to safety. Narrator. Sun and Moon flew to the sky, where they remain today and still shine down. I read that water splashed through the door, carrying colorful fish, frogs, and crabs. This helps me visualize what is happening in the story. Theme. The theme of a story is the main message the author wants to tell the reader. To find the theme, talk about what the characters say and do. Find text evidence. On page 305 of Why the Sun and Moon Live in the Sky, Moon points out that she and Sun are good friends with water. This is a clue that the theme is about friendship. Graphic organizer. Clue. Moon points out that they are good friends with water, but water never visits. Theme. Friends sometimes do difficult things for each other. Drama. Why the Sun and Moon Live in the Sky is a drama that tells a folk tale. A drama is a play that can be acted out on stage. Has parts that characters speak aloud. Can have a lesson to be learned. Find text evidence. I can tell that Why the Sun and Moon Live in the Sky is a drama. It is written with parts for the characters. Story structure. I see that each character has dialogue. Dialogue is the words that each character says in a drama. Root words. To understand the meaning of a word you do not know, try to separate the root word from its ending or suffix, such as ed, ly, or able. Find text evidence. I'm not sure what enjoyable means, so I separate the root word enjoy from the suffix able. I know that enjoy means like, and the suffix able means able to. I think enjoyable means something you like to do. That sounds enjoyable, but why doesn't water ever visit us?
All right, second grade, that takes us to the end of our video and notes for this week. If you have any questions, definitely let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have an amazing day. Take care.